Welcome to Leadership in 30 Minutes. My name is Olatunji Shobodu, and we're going to be talking about something very, very crucial on today's edition. And I want to submit right away that when we get the measure of success, leadership success wrong, we can't fully maximize the benefits of leadership. When we don't know what true leadership success is, then we cannot fully maximize the benefits of leadership. Leadership is so crucial. Leadership is so important. Nothing succeeds without leadership. No nation succeeds, no company succeeds, no organization succeeds without leadership. No family succeeds without leadership. That's how important, how significant leadership is, and how important leaders are. If it is this significant, shouldn't we do everything to maximize the benefits that leadership offers each one of us? However, like I said, we need to understand what success means for a leader or to leadership in order for us to maximize leadership benefits. That's what I want to address today. And, to challenge every leader out there by asking, are you a successful leader? What's your measure of success? How do you know that you are succeeding? Now, if your measure of success is right, then I'm happy for those who are following you, because then they have an opportunity to maximize the benefits on offer by your leadership. But if your measure is wrong, then I'm sorry for those who are following you, because they can't make the most of leadership. They can't make the most of leadership, because the likelihood is that you are emphasizing the wrong thing. The likelihood is that you are offering, the wrong thing, and certainly offering less than is optimal in that leadership relationship. So, I would challenge perhaps certain traditions in leadership in this episode, but that's fine, because I think it's time for us all to face some new leadership realities, what I call new leadership realities. And so let's start by saying, what is the essence of leadership? First of all, what is success in anything, in any endeavor? Now, we can submit very simply and accurately to that success is accomplishment of purpose. Success is fulfillment of purpose in any area. And therefore, in the area of leadership, success is fulfillment of leadership purpose. A leader is successful if the purpose of leadership is served. Now, that purpose is not as he or she defines it. That purpose is as it is defined, all right, in theory, if you like. Okay, and that's important. And many leaders, this is where they get it wrong. You ask them, what's the purpose of their leadership? And many will say to you, especially those in the corporate setting, will say to you is the achievement of the targets that have been set for them. All right. Or perhaps they make a reference to, their job definition, and what they're about is ensuring that they fulfill, the mandate that they have been given. Well, that's not quite the purpose of leadership. And I want to share with you something that is, the truth is intuitively appealing. If we reflect on it, it's something that you and I can relate to. So, what's the purpose of leadership? Let's look at it this way. What does a leader have to offer those who are following? What do you have to offer those who are following? And I want to submit to you, and I'm sure many of us say that, and we would agree with this, that you can only offer what you have. We often say you can't give what you don't have. That means the only thing you can give, all right, is what you have. What do you have? Let me stretch that. By submitting to you, what you have is who you are. All that you have to give anyone is who you are. It is what you possess. All right? The real you, who you are, that you that makes you do those great things that people see you do, is all that you have to give. All right? You can't give more than that. You certainly can give less than that, because it is within your purview to decide what portion of you is on offer or you give. So the reality is this, that leadership is simply the leader giving as much of himself as he possibly can. That's leadership. That's leadership. We agree that you can't give more than who you are. You can't give more than what you possess. Your most valuable asset is who you are. Is who you are. So, what a leader strives to do is to make himself known. The fullness of himself is to make it known to those who are following. That's what a leader, any leader, has to give. If you are doing anything other than that, then you are not being authentic. If you are trying to misrepresent who you are in order for certain other objectives to be accomplished, that's not leadership as it should be done. Leadership is a relationship. And when you come into a relationship, you come into the relationship with who you are. What makes a relationship thrive is trust. How do you elicit or build trust? Is by making yourself known, your true self, that you that does not change, all right, with the weather, with the season, so that the other party knows who you truly are, knows therefore how to interact with you, knows therefore how much they can depend on you. That is what leadership is about. It isn't about the targets that we meet. It is primarily about you and I revealing who we are. So your success as a leader is measured by how much of you your people understand or receive or decode, if you like. Why? Because you can only impact your people, influence your people positively by them discovering attractive aspects of who you are. When I know who you are, there are aspects of who you are that appeals to me, and I strive to replicate them in my life. That's leadership. That's what leadership is about. That's why leadership is not by force. That's why, a leader does not drum things into people's heads or force things into people. What the leader does is try to influence the people to imitate him, all right? Aspects of him that they find attractive. And that's how leaders develop other people. Now, doesn't it make sense that whatever you accomplish, whatever people see you able to accomplish, is because of who you are? So if I want to accomplish the kinds of things that you accomplish, the right thing for me to do is to imitate aspects of who you are that makes you do those things. So if you are a go-getter, if you are one person who never gives up, who is so dogged in his or her pursuit, now, if I like that, and I see how that works for you, then that's what I will target to replicate out of what I have understood to be one of the things that make you tick, that make you who you are. That way, you influence me, all right, to be like you in that area. That's how leaders influence those who follow them. And if I succeed in identifying that, understanding it, to the point that I commit, all right, to want to pursue or to imitate that, that's how I become like you. Then you have succeeded as a leader. And what's the measure of success? That you've been able to reveal who you are to me. To reveal who you are to me. And this is a concept that, is pretty simple. I think we make leadership so esoteric at times. And that's been the bane of all of us in terms of our expectations or our defeated expectations with regard to leadership. I mean, a lot of people are disappointed today with leadership at any level, in any organization. The reason is not far-fetched. The reason is because the real object or purpose of leadership is not served by many leaders. We're focusing on other things. We're trying to do things, all right, and not focusing on the people. Leadership is people focused. Put differently, leadership is person transformation focused. If you are in a leadership relationship, you are following a leader, or someone is leading you, or you are the leader leading one person or a group. If the people are not transformed in terms of their character, in terms of their behavior, then please don't claim to have succeeded. It doesn't matter what numbers you achieve. If your leadership does not impact people, don't claim that you are a success. Because what it means is that you have really not shared who you are with those who are following you. Leadership is about who you are. Quite frankly, what qualifies you to lead is in fact who you are, is your character, more than any other thing. More than any other thing. Nothing is as valuable as your character. The reality about people who want to understand how others get things done is, rather than focus on the steps they take, they should focus on their character attributes. Because what makes you and I do what we do is our character. I am not saying skill is not important. I'm not saying strategy is not important. I'm not saying some other things are not important. I'm saying that the most important thing when it comes to leadership is who you are, is who you are. And there's something I love about, of course, I use the example of Jesus as a role model leader. There's something I love about him. His emphasis most always is not about, all the acts that he performs. It's not about what people see him do. No. It's about their discovery of who he is. That's why he would ask them, who do you say that I am? That was more important to him than anything. Why? Because he knew that the purpose of leadership was for him to reveal who he was. At a point, he turned to some of his guys and he told them, you can leave if you want. Leadership is not by force. All right? Following me is not by force. Following a leader is not by force. You can leave. And those fellows responded to him. And they said, to whom shall we go? He said, we know who you are. You have the words of eternal life. Exciting. You see, they knew who he was. They weren't talking about the things he was doing. They were talking about the fact that a revelation, an understanding of his person was most crucial for them to experience the transformation, the upgrade in the quality of life that a leader brings to the lives of those who follow. So, are you a successful leader? Do you see why we fail to maximize the benefit of leadership? Because leaders are not focusing on revealing who they are. And those who have the consciousness are pretentious. They want to project themselves to be something that they are not. And that itself will not work. They are hypocritical when they are supposed to be authentic. Authenticity is about revealing who you are. Revealing who you are. And that concept is deeper than just, the mere reference to, walking your talk. No. It is showing who you are. And while you may think that that is piece of cake, it is not piece of cake by any means. It's not piece of cake. By any means, it is not piece of cake. But that's the job of a leader. That's the job of a leader. And of course, if I might say this, so a bad leader can succeed. What do I mean by that? That a leader who has bad character but understands the purpose of leadership can succeed. Why? Because he will reveal his bad character. And before you say, how can that be? Well, that is true. Because hypocritical leaders will reproduce hypocritical leaders. A good tree will produce a good fruit. Bad tree will produce bad. Both types of trees produce fruits. So don't say that bad leaders cannot replicate themselves. They can, and they do. In the same way that good leaders can replicate themselves. So good success, there's what is called good success. If there's good success, there's bad success. All right, good success now talks about a leader who has good character, succeeded in revealing the good character that he or she possesses. By so doing, he empowers, he challenges, he encourages his followers to take after him. That's how leadership influence, is perpetrated. That's how leadership influence is perpetrated. When people truly know who you are and they like what they see, and they see the effect of the attributes you possess in terms of the way you think, in terms of the way you speak, in terms of the way you get things done, of course, they want to take after you. They want to copy it. They want to imitate you. That's how influence happens. All right? They are more convinced to trust you, to believe you, to commit to following you. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. So I'm not saying something that is entirely new. I'm drawing our attention to something that we've always known, but we've never thought about it in the context of leadership. Like I said, we always say that, we can't give what we don't have. All right? The implication of that is we can only give what we have. And I say, what do you have? What you have is who you are. What you truly have is who you are. What no one can take away from you is who you are. The value that you have to offer is who you are. It is your character. So when it comes to leadership, which is a relationship where the leader gives to the follower, not the other way around, then what do you have to give? What is most valuable in your hands that you have to give? It's not your wealth. It's not your knowledge. It's who you are. That's your most valuable asset. Who you are. But what are you given? Is that what you are given? Are you even conscious of it? Do you see the reason why leadership is more difficult than it should be for some people? Because they are not working at giving who they are. It's certainly, as difficult as revealing yourself could be, it's certainly easier, all right, than trying to achieve something else that is completely at variance with the purpose of leadership. Now, this is something that is important for both leaders and followers. Followers, because it is still your responsibility to decide who to follow. And if you end up following the wrong leader, you have yourself to blame, not the leader. Not the leader. All right? And for leaders, if you must fulfill the purpose of leadership, if you must maximize the benefits that your leadership has to offer, it's time to focus on the real purpose of leadership, the real mandate of a true, authentic leader, which is to reveal yourself, empower your people, all right, to take after you, to develop your strong attributes by revealing to them who you are. And for those who may be interested, in a credible reference to motivate all that I have said, you can look at John 17 and verses 2 and 3. And you see Jesus basically lay out there what the purpose of leadership is. All right? He said, you have given me power to give a rich and satisfying life to everyone that you give me. All right? That is those that you have given to follow me. He said, and this is that rich and satisfying life. Or rather, this is how to accomplish it. That I make you known as the true God, and me as the one that you have sent. So every leader is sent by those who train you. And how do they train you? By revealing who they are to you, so that you can go on to reveal yourself to them. Okay? So that's it for this edition of Leadership in 30 Minutes. And I think we've just shared some new leadership realities. And I would encourage you to think about that. But it works. And if you would get the purpose of leadership right, as we have discussed, then you cannot but have true leadership success in view, and that increases significantly your chances of succeeding as a leader. No more, being overburdened because you're doing the wrong thing. No more wasting away your time and resources. No more getting frustrated, with the responses of your people because you're focusing on the wrong things. Now you can enjoy leadership, all right, and enjoy carrying the burden of leadership indeed. And also, finally, you'll be challenged to continue to develop yourself, because the quality of your leadership, therefore, will be influenced by two things. One, the quality of who you are, and two, the quality of your ability to reveal who you are. I hope I didn't complicate things too much. Anyway, that's it on Leadership in 30 Minutes today. My name remains Olatunji Shobodo. I'm your anchor. On Monday, I'll be back on Leadership on Monday. And then you'll have one more nugget to help you do leadership right, for the week. God bless you. I appreciate you joining. I encourage you to share the link if you have been blessed. If you think that what we have discussed, has added value to you, why not, help others to share in the same value. Leadership is very important. High time we make the most of it. God bless you, and bye-bye.